Hey, what's up guys, it's Moose here, and today I'm talking about the Destiny 2017 April update, or the Age of Triumph update. The Age of Triumph event is supposed to be something that lets you relive your finest moments in Destiny 1 before the second game comes out. Some things coming back in this event will be probably old raids, as the trailer shows Guardians going into the Vault of Glass. Also, it looks like Prison of Elders and some more weekly Crucible things are coming. Now let's take a look at the trailer.
You have led us to a new age, Guardian. An age of triumph and remembrance. We thank you, Guardian, and we will never forget.
As you can see from that trailer, this new event will bring back old raids, and you also have a new record book with many different pages. Now every raid is being redone, including Vault of Glass, Crota, King's Fall, and Wrath of the Machine. These raids will all now be able to be done at 390 Light and all have their own unique challenge modes. Now we'll look at Bungie's testers playing the new Vault of Glass during their stream.
While they tackle the Age of Triumph Vault of Glass, talk to us about what you had said before. Like, when did you really start thinking it would be fun to do a director's cut of these raids?
Yeah, so I think even in just post King's Fall coming out, we'd sort of learned a lot and from the community really playing these and thought, man, we really think we could make these raids shine. And this idea of, we didn't want to change the raids. We didn't want to make them something they weren't ever. So this is, you're not going to find a Takeified Vault of Glass or a Siva-fied Crota's End.
Right? There was some significant fear and angst there. A little bit of wringing of hands last weekend.
Our goal here was really to look at these experiences and say, how can we make them shine? So if you were one of the Guardians that really like to stand up on a ledge and snipe some oracles, you might have to get a little closer this time around.
Okay, all right.
But we also think any time we made sort of a change in that direction, we tried to make a change in a way that we thought the encounter was going to be more fun and more player friendly. So also for these sort of pre-Templar encounters that they're in right now, we just cut a little of the time off. We said, you know what we really didn't enjoy in year one was spending 10 minutes on oracles, wiping on the last one, and having to go back. So we've made them a little bit shorter. And that's sort of been our philosophy with all of these raids, is going in and sort of looking at the fossil of Vault of Glass and taking a brush and brushing it off and saying, what's a little thing that we think would make this a little more enjoyable? Or where did we misstep a little bit?
Yeah, that's the challenge for you guys when you go back and touch this content again. These are deeply meaningful experiences that are very important to people in our community. And while they might say bring them back, they want you to bring them back for the reasons why they loved them. And while you might want to innovate and enhance, if you do something where somebody says this isn't the Vault of Glass anymore, you may have traveled a bridge too far.
Correct.
Was there anything that you pulled out of your design because you felt like you were sort of approaching that risk?
Yeah, I think at one point, even in the Vault of Glass, we looked at the big jumping puzzle and said, you know what? This team worked so hard on making this jumping puzzle and making these blocks appear, and everyone just jumps across the ledge. And there was a period where there was this big wind volume that would just knock you away from the ledge and say, no, get off the ledge. And we were playing it in playtests and saying, you know, this isn't what I love about Vault of Glass. I love that I can step on this block and jump all the way to the ledge and walk all the way across the ledge and then get hit off by Notch Boss at the end.
Yeah.
Right? That's part of what makes the experience great.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to the community's reaction. And we know any little thing we tweak or don't tweak is going to have some heated debate. But know that we looked at this with a very loving hand.
Okay. Yeah. There was actually somebody in chat said, did Luke Smith mind you touching his baby?
Yeah, I think one thing that Luke Smith would have definitely jumped down my throat about is if we added another chest to the Vault of Glass.
Oh, God. You went there, huh?
I promise that we have not touched the amount of chests in Vault of Glass. And I can even say that as someone who played Vault of Glass as a player and not as an employee, because that was in a period of time where I was working elsewhere, I didn't understand how many chests were in the Vault of Glass. I was really excited to crack this open and see how many chests were open in the Vault of Glass. To this day, I still don't know. I think there are two people in the world that know how many chests are in the Vault of Glass, and that's Luke Smith and Matt Beignet. They didn't even tell the other designers on the team when they were placing them where they were.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to take that secret to his grave.
That was one of the most challenging things before the actual launch of Destiny was people saying, so talk to me about these raids. I was like, I don't know what to tell you about the raids. 6 people will play them. They're going to be really hard. If I go any deeper than that, I'm going to be a marked man when I go back home. So, the fact that we're showing the raid being played here is certainly closer than we've ever come to revealing raids before we go in. But people remember this place. We wanted to show, that these bad guys are pretty bad again. Actually, give me some context as to why we didn't start this raid from the very beginning, because as dramatic as it would have been to open the door and to build the spire, why do we join them in progress?
Sure. One of the reasons that we went straight into Conflicts is because the opening experience of Vault of Glass is in a public space.
Yeah.
And our public spaces work in a way that we don't level up those Minotaurs. Because your friend or kindergarten that's, level 12 running around Venus, we don't want to throw a 390 light Minotaur in his face.
Yeah.
What we really want is for him at level 12 to sort of be like, hey guys, I'm here, I'm level 20, I'm shooting some guys in the face, like I'm having fun. And so that's preserved. You're not going to really see in Vault of Glass the new exciting changes until you step foot into the door.
That's always been one of the funniest things when you're starting the Vault of Glass and some kindergarten shows up, and is like, I'm helping. It's like, yes, you are. Sometimes teamwork is just giving them other people to shoot at. All right. It should also be said that Destiny 1 is a game that's not going away. Destiny 1 is a game that we fully intend to keep online for the foreseeable future. So people may be discovering the Vault of Glass for the very first time. They may be Eyes Up Guardian for the very first time in the months to come. And the fact that you're giving elite Guardians, master class Guardians, something new to do is cool. But I'm also grateful, just from a community manager perspective, that if somebody does join our community, some of those core experiences are still intact for them.
Yes.
So good thinking there.
I think that that these 400 light Guardians are going to have real fun going back into raids like Crota's and Vault, especially within Crota's. You experienced that raid when you were playing it where it was such a higher light delta than you were as a player. And now not only are you only able to go in and be a little above it, but you're able to go in with new swords and supers and things that you didn't have before.
Yeah.
And so even if we changed nothing at all, you'd have a totally different experience going in there.
So there's certain different degrees of evolution here when we take a look at all 4 of the raids. Vault of Glass has been given new challenge modes. Its light has been brought up to the current levels. You've got some new takes on weapon and armor with the ornaments, and then the ways that they'll behave in the sandbox. Again, we'll let Josh Hamrick go on record about that. Crota's End has some essential fixes.
Crota's End even has some changes to normal mode.
Okay.
So we looked at some of the experiences that we really wanted to shine in Crota's End and said, well, if we really need to bring this out and want to make this super fun and super great, like it's going to be a little bit more than dusting here, a little bit more than dusting with a brush.
Yeah.
But we absolutely came in mind with what is the core experience here, what do players really love about it,
Yeah.
And we are not about making your experience in these raids more of a slog or more of like oh my gosh, they took Crota's End and added all these Kingsfall mechanics to it. Right? These are still the raids that you love.
But if you're a master raider, if somebody says there's no way, I know everything there is to know about these old raids, I don't need to play them again.
You're going to be surprised.
Yeah. Okay.
You're going to be a little bit surprised.
Okay.
And if you're one of those people that comes out and reads the patch notes day
yes,
one.
okay.
One thing we should touch on is we were pretty vague in the raids patch notes. You're probably going to go in there and see some patch notes like, hey, all the old bosses works with 3 of coins. And
Okay.
hey, they moved a switch in Wrath of the Machine so it was easier to complete that challenge mode. And that's it. And you're going to be like, that's all they did?
No.
We've been waiting this
That's
long?
not all you did.
No, we want you to be able to discover the changes and the specific things
Yep.
that we sort of altered in these. So,
So it's kind of a departure from our usual aesthetic for the patch notes, but we do not want our patch notes to be a strategy guide. So a lot of the work that's been done here will be obfuscated when Cosmo goes in to publish those notes. So yeah, I'm glad you issued that disclaimer. That slipped my mind. That was a really good thing that you and I talked about a couple days ago. And then when we're working on King's Fall, King's Fall had challenge modes.
correct.
But King's Fall is going to have new ornamental armor. Every raid is going to have new ornamental armor.
Every raid has new ornaments. They are spectacular. Even Wrath of the Machine, who already had 1 ornament, they got a 2nd slot.
Now here are some pictures Bungie posted of the Age of Triumph.